Now, I mean, I'm still a bit destroyed from last night. It's just everything from the whole season is coming out, of course, so yeah, insane, intense, crazy, of course, just season in general, but also yesterday, the race in general. So at the moment, I'm just incredibly happy. It was a long night, not a lot of sleep, so I'm not feeling 100%, but of course it's all worth it. I think it was a real relief for everyone, of course with the outcome, but in general throughout the whole season, it's been so busy, and then to have this kind of celebration all together, it's just really it was really special, really amazing. I never gave up. I mean, of course, I knew that it was going to be tough, but I always said I just want to try and be as close as I can be. And then, of course, with everything that unfolded, I was like, this is my chance. I have to go for it. And that's what we did. Yeah, my last lap when I was fighting Lewis, of course, I also had a cramp already starting the lap. And that just lasted every time I was going full throttle. It was terrible. So I was, of course, fighting him and then defending. And I just felt like my muscle just like clamping together, and it almost became like a tennis ball, It's like, it was terrible. It's like the worst experience you can have in terms of, your calf muscle just dying on you. Yeah, it was insane. Everyone's screaming on the radio, of course. Everyone's super emotional, not thinking it would happen initially, and then also me, I was crying on the end lap. There's no hiding about it, but it was just insane. The whole lap, I couldn't believe it. Just the stress of the whole season, of course, the whole battle, and then seeing like it looked like it was, of course, not going your way, and then suddenly it turns around in a crazy fashion, and then it does come your way. I mean, it couldn't have been more dramatic. So yeah, to become world champion was, of course, my final goal in Formula One. Of course, very happy that it happened, and I said already yesterday, everything else, what happens now, is just a bonus. When I saw my dad coming out of the car, I mean, that was a very special moment, because you start talking to each other and realize, what we did back in the days through go-karting, traveling all over Europe together in the van, and then you look each other in the eye and you're like, we did it. We won the world championship. Truly standout moment, well, I mean, just not thinking about the last race, just I think winning Monaco was really special. I have to pick the two Austria races as one, because that was also really nice to win there again at our home track, and winning in Zandvoort for me was very special with all the Dutch fans there. I've seen a few reactions, but I still need to go through my phone. I mean, I literally didn't have any time to look at anything, so I'll do that in the next couple of days. A few more years in Formula One, because I said yesterday already that anything now, what happens is just a bonus after winning the championship, because that was my final goal.
He's unbelievably good, I think. What I see, and I can see his driving and his attitude and his approach is really excellent. At the moment, just the car is not quick enough. It's as simple as that. If he was in a Ferrari or a Mercedes, he'd be up there for sure fighting. And I think he can become one of the legends of sports for sure. It just depends on how things pan out. There have been a lot of good drivers who could have had the same kind of chance and talent and everything, but it just didn't quite work out. So we'll have to wait and see. But if Red Bull can turn things up a notch, he'll be up there.
I don't think people are under pressure from outside. They put themselves under pressure, if you like, sort of really and truly thinking about their capabilities rather than thinking they can get the job done and get on and do it. But I mean, he's certainly changed a lot this last year. I shouldn't say he's grown up, but he's grown up, because he's realized that some of the things he did when he was driving were a little bit, taking a few sort of risks when unnecessarily. And he's now turned into a very, very, very mature Formula One driver.
Well, as a teammate, you obviously get to know him closer, see how he works, how he does with the car, inside, outside the car. As a rival, you just see him on track, and that's it. But yeah, you can see that Max is a very talented driver and very natural as well.
Well, of course, I was very happy, a bit shocked as well. I didn't expect that, but yeah, I'm very happy with this opportunity, of course. I have to say a big thanks to Red Bull and Dr. Helmut Marko for sure. And yeah, now I just can't wait to jump into the car. I just take it quite relaxed and just see where it goes, of course. I try to work as good as I can with all the engineers and study the procedures and hopefully also try to learn from my teammate. Well, of course, I know what they have done in the history of Formula One. They're very competitive and I'm also a very competitive person, so hopefully it's a perfect match. Well, I wouldn't say more pressure, to be honest. Of course, you're driving for a top team now, but at the end, you always try to do your best, and that's what I always try to do. So for me, no, I don't feel more pressure. It's a great honor. It's a top team. That's where every driver wants to drive, I think. So I can't wait to get started. Well, it feels amazing. My first win. I still can't believe it, really. It was an amazing race. A lot of pressure from behind, but then to pull it off, incredible. To be honest, yeah, it's nice. It's a nice record, but at the end, it doesn't matter at what age you win, as long as you win. I think with 5 laps to go, I thought, okay, now we have to win this race, because I saw Kimi struggling with his tires as well, and from there onwards, I was just, okay, make no mistakes, get a good exit out of the last corner, and that should give you the win. Well, the thing is, yeah, you start to think about it, but then quickly you're like, no, don't think about it, no, don't think about it, and just focus on what you have to do at that moment, and yeah, you think about it a little bit, and then you go back to focusing fully. The race itself, yeah, pretty good start. Lost one position in turn 1, got it back in turn 3. And from there on, yeah, he pretty much followed Daniel in the first stint. From there on, when we put the medium tires on again, I catched up to Daniel, got a bit stuck, but we managed to hold on to the tires very well. And from there on, when we did the last stop, I knew we were going to the end, but it would have, yeah, it would be a big task, but we managed to do it. So it was a great race. This weekend has been great. I learned a lot. I'm still learning a lot, and yeah, to come into a new team and straight away win the race, perfect. Well, my expectations before were actually nothing. I just wanted to have a clean race, have a good start, and it all changed when the Mercedes cars touched each other and went off. So then I was, okay, maybe a podium is possible, and in the end we came out with a win. So yeah, it's just incredible. To be honest, I don't know. I mean, this was a great weekend, great result. We'll see what happens in Monaco. The car should be quite fast there, and we just have to wait and see. The target for Monaco, first of all, is just stay out of the walls. And if you stay out of the walls, hopefully we can be close or on a podium. My dad was, I think he was crying, and yeah, he was incredibly happy. I mean, best result for a Dutchman as well. My dad finished twice third, so now, yeah, incredible achievement from, yeah, from I think our side, I would say, because he helped me a lot, also in the beginning of my career up until Formula One, and I think without him I wouldn't have won today. It means to him also a lot. I mean, he wanted me to be better than him, and today that panned out like that perfectly, and yeah, I think he's very proud.
And I think that Daniel delivers exceptional qualifying and exceptional overtaking. I think that where Max has stood out and been exceptional is the consistency of race performance, ability to, you know, in adversity, like we saw in Abu Dhabi, cut to a one-stop strategy and make it work. As we saw in Brazil in the rain, find racing lines that you would normally never take and make it work. So he's brave and he's intelligent. Bring those two together, then you have something superhuman. So they will naturally continue to both develop, more so potentially Max because he's younger. But as we get into this new Formula One with a lot more physical demand and, you know, wider cars and what have you, then it may suit one over the other, because every single driver has his own little characteristic in driving that maybe gets more out of a car than the other. And today, as we speak, we don't know which one it's going to be.